I'm Kila.
And I'm Ashley.
And we met on TikTok.
2 trailers, 1 park.
And we were raised by 2 mother hustlers.
I raised my mama.
Oh my gosh, I did too.
Well, let's talk about that. We can talk shit about our moms, but no one else can.
Welcome back.
Hey, y'all.
Back here with Brazen Barbara Jean and Wanda.
Well, today we're going to talk about Mother's Day.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So this may be a tearjerker. Hopefully not. We're pretty lighthearted, so we'll move on very quickly. But
yes,
we were discussing Mother's Day, and Kila has gotten dementia, and she doesn't remember any.
I don't.
Which makes sense, because if you don't really celebrate that, then it does make sense that, because we didn't celebrate that either.
I know. I've never celebrated it my whole life, though.
Yeah, it's not one of those days that's like super important to me.
Mm-hmm. Even my kids, if they're like, "What do you want for Mother's Day?" and I'd say, "For you to go away."
Right. That's the mother's ultimate gift, is to go away. Leave us alone.
Cole's dad used to call and be like, "Hey, I got Cole this weekend. What time you want him back on Sunday?" I'd be like, "I don't."
Right.
It's Mother's Day.
Right. Leave us alone. Get us a hotel room and some takeout and a bunch of candy, and let us
lay in bed all day and watch TV.
Yes. But Barbara Jean, so let's talk about Barbara Jean. So when I met my husband, and we always went to his mom's for Mother's Day, and his dad they're both phenomenal cooks. And so we see them on Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and Mother's Day. It's the only time we see them through the year, and they only live an hour south of us. But we just always did. Well, Barbara Jean, I didn't realize, was getting mad about that, because she was like, "Y'all always go." And I'm like, "But they host us. It's not like we're hosting them." And like, they make it special. Like, it's not me making it special. So I would always like mail her a card, even though I seen her every day, just so she would like get it and like be surprised, or, whatever. But she would be like, "Thanks, Sharpie, for the Mother's Day card." And I'd be like, "You're welcome." But I didn't, and this may be ugly, but I didn't celebrate her on Mother's Day, because, like the name, the title of the podcast, like, we raised her.
They should have got us cards.
Exactly.
We were the mothers.
I was like, you should be rubbing my feet, or like, you know what I mean? Like braiding my hair. Like, so sorry, but I just didn't. I didn't. And, Barbara Jean was an addict, so it depended on if she had anything, what mood she was going to be in. So it wasn't like you can just show up at mom's house on Sunday. Like, you better hope to God she's got some pills. Are you going to be leaving there matter in hell, and y'all fighting? So
I always got my mom cards, and I always went over there and took her something, and it did just depend on what mood she was in. But we never, like, growing up, I don't really remember celebrating Mother's Day a whole lot.
Well,
then I feel bad, because I'm like, well, damn.
Yeah, but
was I a bad kid?
No, I don't think so. And in school, I did. This is sad, and I don't want to bring everybody down. I hope you're not crying on the way to work. But anyways, in school, I did go extra with the Mother's Day things that we did at school, because I always thought that if the more I did for my mom, she would somehow not be an addict anymore. Like, well, if I be the perfect kid, and not that I made perfect grades, because I never made good grades, but like, if I make the most elaborate card and make it the prettiest card and write in there like how much she means to me, that's going to be the turning point of us being normal. Right. But it didn't happen. So
yeah. And that's sad.
It is really sad. But I'm okay. I'm good now.
Right.
For instance, today I was on TikTok, and I saw, and we will put this on our social media, but there was a TikTok, and the girl said, "This Oprah Winfrey show episode changed my entire life," and it was about healing your inner child. And it's a therapist. It's kind of like hypnotherapy, but like, he made the audience like close their eyes and like think about the first memory of being a child, and then like take that kid and hug that kid. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't actually get to do it because I have the toddlers, but I sent it to my sister, and I was like, because the girl on the TikTok was like, "This changed my life," and this was in like 1980.
I'm sitting over here with my eyes closed.
Yeah, right. Well, I was going to do it for you, but I don't remember all the steps, so I'm liable to screw you up. But my sister texted me, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm crying so hard." That little girl, she's like, she goes, "Can I take you with me in the vision?" Oh. And she goes, "But you weren't there because you weren't born yet." And I was like, "No, you don't take me. I'm fine. I will heal my own inner child. you heal you. And I was like, you be the hero for that little girl that you needed. And she was like, I can't even breathe. I'm crying so hard. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I sent that to you at like 7:00 this morning. You're drinking your coffee, like, dealing with a lot of like emotion. But it was super enlightening. Like the way he made you think about like your first memory. And
you didn't send it to me?
I didn't send it to you, but because we're gonna link it on our page, and so we'll do that. We can do it and then come back and talk about it because it's only 7 minutes is how long it is. But I thought we could do the whole exercise because they said on YouTube there's like the full version of it. This therapist does it, but yeah, it was really like you wouldn't think just thinking about that could actually heal you. I feel like I have healed a lot, but my sister, y'all, has went crazy on toys from the 80s, okay? Like, all of a sudden, she has bought the little charm bracelets that everybody had, the little plastic charm bracelets.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't get one of those. So she bought...
Oh, so she's buying all her toys that she always wanted when she was little.
Yes. And it's now become like a thing. This has only been like 3 weeks, but she now has like a room dedicated.
Oh.
Yes. So I told her, I was like, buy the comforter set, put that comforter on the bed, and make it your childhood bedroom. You never got that. And so that's what she's been doing. And she's like, what is your thing? And I'm like, I really don't know. I don't know of one thing that, like, I did think yesterday, I was like, maybe it was braces for me. I know that's crazy, on my teeth. But I always wanted them because I needed them, but we didn't get them. And so I got them when I was an adult. And so I was like, maybe that was me healing my inner child. Like,
maybe.
Because I didn't get to have braces.
So you didn't go to like the doctor every year?
We only went to the doctor
checkup or the dentist every 6 months?
We went to the doctor if Mom thought she was going to get like codeine or codone. Wait, because she made them believe I was allergic to codeine. Like, no. Only if we had like a cough that was like walking pneumonia and she knew that we were about to get like some badass cough syrup. No, we didn't go to the doctor.
Did you take your kids to the doctor on routine?
No.
Visits?
No. My kids have never had a well child checkup.
Ashley?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I did do the doctor visits. And
I only did the shots. Like, I only did those.
Yeah.
But then once the shots were done, no. No. My kids literally call me like, who's my doctor? I'm like, Dawn. Because she's the nurse practitioner that I go to. I'm like, it's Dawn.
Huh.
But I didn't do that. The dentist, we didn't miss a dentist appointment. Never. And I even took my kids to the eye doctor and they didn't even need it. I thought you were supposed to do that. I thought you were supposed to like go for the first time. And she was like, no, you don't do this unless there's like an issue.
I work at an eye doctor and Emily was in 4th grade when we took her and she was like a -6.
See, my kids were like 2020. They were like, they're fine. I was like, oh, I didn't know. I thought you just brought them for an exam, Mark. So,
okay, so let's get back to Mother's Day because here we go wandering again.
Yeah, we always do.
I know. It's ADD people.
But if people have it, they're going to be like, yes, I'm following along.
I don't really, though, like I remember celebrating my mom's last Mother's Day. We did a cookout because we knew she was sick and everybody come over.
Mm-hmm.
And then the year before that, we went to a place in Nashville called Mad Donna's because I remember that they had Captain Crunch French toast and it was amazing.
Nice.
It's closed now because I've tried to get that Captain Crunch French toast. But other than that, I don't really remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always knew I took her flowers and stuff wherever she was or because she probably was at the bar working, but.
Yeah.
And I did stuff, but it wasn't like a big holiday we celebrated.
We didn't either. And depending on Mom's mood, she may call you on Mother's Day and like cuss you out for not making her feel special. But I'm like, sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
But I was talking to people at work today and they all had like normal Mother's Days.
Like where everybody gets together and goes eats or somebody cooks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that with my in-laws either. I mean, my mother-in-law, we do go over there and Brian will do stuff with her. And sometimes I go if I get back in town. I mean, like the last couple of years, I've gone to Dixie's for Mother's Day because,
you
know.
You don't have little kids, so yeah. Makes sense. I mean, I don't really do anything for my mother-in-law.
And that was the first holiday I celebrated with Dixie. Her and Lindley come up here the first year for Mother's Day. And we went to my daughter's and Emily cooked and hosted for us.
I mean, honestly, I just want to be left alone. Like,
I know.
Everybody leave and...
Read a book.
Yes. I want to paint. Like, I just want to paint or do something crafty.
I want to binge watch TV.
Yeah. I did some of that yesterday.
Yeah, I did too. What'd you binge watch?
I actually rewatched the movie The Lost City with Sandra Bullock. And, Magic Mike. Channing Tatum.
Oh.
It's freaking hilarious. I've seen it twice, but I saw it yesterday. I was like, I'm watching this again because it was so
I
funny.
don't know if I've seen that.
It's like you need to binge watch Mom. You're not going to get off of it. You're going to be up all night. It's our life.
I've been doing Bravo. I've been doing the Vanderpump Rules. I've started from the beginning because they've been having all their crazy drama, and I love reality TV.
See,
and
I'm a
it's
ghost
sad.
show person. I
Mm.
like ghost shows. I mean, I do have a ghost in my house too, so that's probably why.
You've told me that, and I don't know that
No,
I
it's
want to come to your
ramped up.
house.
Like, it's ramped up in the last month.
Eh.
It's probably me going through menopause. That's like a thing. Your own energy creates weird energy.
My friends have a ghost in their house, and I will not go to the bathroom by myself when I'm there.
I'm not scared of the ghost. I'm scared. I'm scared that it's going to be an intruder.
Do you think it's your mom?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a
Hmm.
good question. The babies have been weird. They like are like, hey, and I'm like, no. You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. No.
You had that ghost though before them babies.
Yeah, I did.
Mm.
Yes, I don't know. It's been something fell in the hallway like last week. Like when I say failed, like they tripped over the baby gate, so it was super loud. Me and Aniston were actively texting each other, and I said, "Did you just make all that racket in the hallway? Like, dear God!" And she goes, "No, I'm laying in my bed." And I was like, "Oh shit! I bet one of the babies are up, like sleepwalking." So I go check; they're passed out. I'm like, "What the hell?" And so I get back into my room. I'm like, "We have an intruder. It has to be like." Has to be an intruder. Like, so I wake Hagen up, which he's the devil when he wakes up. And I'm like, there's got to be an intruder. And he's like, there's not an intruder. And he goes downstairs and there's nothing. But I go to click on the camera and like it looked like there was like something standing there and then it went away. Like as soon as it like opened up and I'm like, what the? So my 17-year-old got in the bed with us and she was like, I said, I'm not scared of the ghost. I'm scared if it's an intruder and I think it's a ghost. Like I go to sleep thinking like, oh, it's just Casper's in here and it's actually an intruder and we're all getting murdered.
Do you remember when I come to your house when you had that yard sale?
Yes.
I mean, Emily stalked you. I had a piece so bad at your house, and you told me that you had a ghost when we got there, and I was not asking to go in.
It's so strange. Like my mom was really weird with ghosts and stuff. So, but I believe in ghosts, but I'm super skeptical. It's so weird. I'm super skeptical when it's my stuff.
My mom used to tell all kinds of ghost stories. Like her and her sister would, and her sister's still alive. They still stick by the story. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like where they grew up at. Like they swear one night somebody was on one of their backs. And they looked up and they could just see this big shadow, and they couldn't get up because they couldn't breathe. I mean, I'm like, y'all are insane.
I think addicts are susceptible to spirit because they're so like your defenses
Yeah, I never thought about
broke
that.
down.
Yeah.
So you're vulnerable, like babies and animals. I feel like because if you think about it,
that is true.
A lot of addicts have stories about strange shit that like we don't. You know, I don't never had nothing like this is like activity at my house, but I can't even. I'm not even scared, like because I'm like there's got to be an explanation for that. Even though I believe in ghosts, I'm like, there's no way that was too loud to be a ghost. Like that was more like an earthquake.
But we just got cameras put in, and they come across, and there's nothing there, and I'm like, why is the camera going off? And then I'll watch it kind of like this because I don't really want to see if there's something there or not there.
Also, Hagen the next morning goes, did you pour a little pile of cat treats in the floor? And I said, no. And if I would have, our dog would have ate them because she loves them. And I was like, no, I didn't. And he was like, there was a little pile. And I was like, well, you know it wasn't me because the cat and the dog, they go straight to me to get their treats in the morning. That's the first thing they do. So there was also like a pile of
Could your cat have done it?
No, because it's in a cabinet and it has a pop top lid. And the cat's like, it would have ate all of them if it could have got to them.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to get really drunk if I come to your house and need to go inside.
It's not even scary. Well, for me, like, it's not even scary. It's just like, I'm like, no, I want to, like, why is this? Like, I need an explanation for it.
Like, look, we've done gone for Mother's Day to Ghost.
I know. Sorry. I mean, this makes sense, though. It's us.
So you told me that day I was at your house, you were telling me about the ghost because your
neighbor.
No, somebody, a nephew or somebody was living with you at the time, or your cousin, the little older boy.
Yes.
And you said that he went to get in the shower or something.
And saw Aniston on her bed. No, saw a boy.
Yes, or something was crazy. And I was like, there's no damn way I'm going in their house.
My daughter said she saw a boy hanging from her ceiling.
That's like a scary movie. Like there is a scary movie about that.
But that's why I feel like it's, sorry, Aniston, but like it was a dream. Like, that's a lot. And, like, I've done lots of research. Like, we've done lots of research to try to find that.
I don't know that Aniston would lie about that.
I don't think it's a lie. I think that because I was terrified as a kid, like terrified of all things spooky. And she is the exact same way. And so I think that she, like, and I do think she's sensitive.
Uh-huh.
But when I tell you that we've done so much research trying to find a boy, like, because she said he was wearing 90s clothes and he was hanging from, she said a fishing pole, but I'm sure it was like he hung himself or whatever. We can't find, and the boy that you said that lived with me, he said he was he said, quote unquote, that he didn't know about the hanging boy and went up and told Aniston that he saw a boy standing in her room. And then he said all he knew was the name Jamal. He got the name Jamal and the number 17. So, of course, we went haywire on Jamal and 17.
Isn't Jamal like a football or basketball player?
Oh, I'm sure. But there was no deaths. I mean, we looked all the way back to the 90s. My friend he works in IT, so he knows all, and we couldn't find anything, like nothing around there, even in the vicinity, nothing. We can't find anything. And it may not be that. I don't know. But that was very strange. And I don't have anything to back that up. You know what I mean? Like, a guy did die. A woman killed herself there. So, okay.
In your house?
Yes. So that would make sense.
Yeah.
And then the people that we bought it from, her husband died. That's why she sold it to us. He didn't die in the house, but he died in a motorcycle accident. So that would make sense. But a 17-year-old hanging in a closet, like, that don't really make sense. But, maybe it don't make sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all strange.
It is strange.
But it's not like, I don't even know. But I'm not scared of it. But I used to be terrified of it. But now I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Everything needs to make sense. And it don't.
I don't know.
I think the babies might have brought,
My friend who I was talking about, they have the ghost in her house. Her daughter, they have a new baby, and the baby hates going to her granny's house, which is my friend, and her daughter's like, because that damn ghost won't leave her alone. But she cries the whole time she's there. She hates being there.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
But if they go outside, she's good. But in the house, she doesn't like being in there.
Yeah, they can pick up on that. Yeah.
Now, do y'all do like Halloween stuff?
No, like I ghost hunt. So
I want to go do that.
I ghost hunt, but I always like pray. I pray before and after, and we do like black salt and like
what the hell's black salt?
Like it's supposed to like signify like nothing negative or nothing attached can come across the line. I do think there's a fine line between ghost hunting and like conjuring. So that's weird to me. Like sometimes I'm like,
oh, you done went to another level.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
I'm just gonna drink some more because I don't want to know what conjuring is.
Yeah, I'm not conjuring nothing. No. And no. So we haven't been in a while, but we only go to like places that's like, they have ghost tours or something. I just love the stories, just like this podcast. I just want to hear people's stories, and I just love to hear like stuff that happens. It doesn't even have to be about the ghost, but I like to hear about the history of whatever, because it's weird. And I didn't pay attention in school, so I don't know shit. So now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm interested in that.
We should go one of those places and stay the night.
Oh, I've done that.
Is it scary?
Yes, when your sister takes 2 Tylenol PMs and falls asleep, and then you're to stay awake and fight off the ghost by yourself. Yes, it's very scary, Kila. Very scary.
Were the ghosts attacking
No,
you?
nothing even happened. But I was burning up because I was under like 42 blankets, and I was scared about the woman being in the corner. And Jessica's over here like, and I'm like, no, thank you so much. So yeah.
Where was isn't there a lot of stuff in Columbia with like ghosts and?
There's like a couple little ghost tours, but I've done those. They're pretty good. They're cute. I love that stuff.
I don't know that cute would be the word I'd use.
Well, it's family friendly, so it's they keep it cute-ish. I feel like a lot of the ghost hunters, like I know we're going on a ghost hunt, like, but I feel like a lot of the ghost hunters, like they're just like, oh, so and so happened. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't believe that. If you don't have like video evidence or like audio.
You do have video evidence. You just said you didn't believe it.
Yes, I do. But like, that's the thing. Like even with video, I'm like, some people believe everything that they say though. They're like, oh, he levitated. I'm like, I don't think so.
If somebody starts levitating around me, I'm running.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What about mediums? Do you believe in mediums?
Yes, absolutely.
We should do that.
Yes.
I'd like to hear what my mom's got a lot of explaining to do.
We had tickets to go to Long Island Medium the year that Mom passed, but then COVID happened or something, and they canceled the show, and so we just got our money back. We didn't get to go, but I knew Barbara Jean was going to come through. I was like, she's going to punch Teresa right in the chest, bitch, I'm first. But yeah, we didn't get to do it. So, but I always think that like my sister, we were on vacation, and my sister went outside to hit her vape, and this girl walked up and was like, "Hey, I have a message for you." Nobody ever does that to me, and I'm like, open, I'm right here, and nobody ever does that. I'm like, that's like my dream. That now I say that everybody's gonna come up to me at like gas stations and be like, "Oh, somebody come to you."
We should have a medium come on the show.
Yeah.
Does anybody know any mediums? I don't know.
No, because if I knew one, I would be best friends with them. You do?
Shut up.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yes, I would love to talk to one.
We
talked with a producer from Tyler Henry's show.
Oh, I love Tyler Henry.
I know, he's so cute.
Oh, I love him. Sorry.
Because now he's getting into like the DNA part on
with his mom.
Yes, with the series. And so the lady was like, "Oh my gosh, I wish y'all had reached out to us. We could have had you guys on the show." And I'm like, "Well, can we still go on the season 2?
Right.
But we've not heard back from them.
Seatbelt Psychic is another favorite of mine. He only had one season, and he's great. He's an Uber driver. And people get in, and he's like, "Hey, do you believe in mediums?" And one guy was a preacher, and he was like, "Nope, I don't." And he was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then he was like, "But can I give you a message?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, let's just hear it." And he goes, "There's a woman, and she just wants me to tell you that you're doing a really good job with your kids." He's like, "I think it might be your wife." And he was like, "What?" And he was like, "Do you have twins?" Oh, and he was like really nervous. And the guy was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Have you been asking your wife if you're doing a good job parenting?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "She said you are." And the guy was like, "I'm a Church of Christ preacher." Like he got out of the car and he was like, "I don't even know what to say right now. Like I have no idea what to say." Like he's great. Now, however, I do think there is a fine line between mediums and like tarot. That's different for me because tarot is not necessarily a gift, but something that you learn. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas mediumship, I feel like you are born with that. And nothing against tarot, but I just feel like there's a difference in it.
I think when I was 21 and I went to Daytona, because I went to the Daytona 500 with one of my best friends, and we were at a flea market, and I had my palm read or something, and they said I would marry a short guy in uniform, and I did.
Oh. Yeah, I had my palm read one time too in the trailer park. How much time do we have? I can tell that story. So Mom lived in the trailer park. This was, I was probably 19. I think I just had my baby. So I knew what the hell I was doing. Like I had life figured out. I didn't. Anyways, this lady moves into the trailer park. This is not no offense to any of y'all that were raised there. This was not a nice trailer park, okay? This is ghetto fabulous, shootings, stabbings, what? That's my what? Oh, my camera. Oh, no, I'm looking at him. I keep looking at him.
I thought there was a ghost behind her.
No, I keep
was like,
I keep looking at Trent.
I'm not looking behind her.
This lady moves into the trailer park, and she is like, has a car. Nobody in the trailer park has a car. First of all, nobody's got a license, okay? So you need to calm your tits there. And she had like 4 kids, and they were all like well-dressed, and she was well-dressed, and you could tell she had like she was like, and my mom was like, hell no. She suspicious as hell. So of course Mom goes up there and is like, who the hell are you and where the hell did you come from? Because we know everybody that lives.
She's undercover.
She was undercover. I think it was like a witness protection kind of thing.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I wish I could find her. I hope she hears this and like comes. I don't even remember her name. Anyways, so my mom goes up to her and she has these 4 kids and like they came from like Franklin or something. And Mom's like, how the hell did you come up on Dottie's trailer park? And the woman was like, oh, just, left a bad marriage or something. And Mom was like, no. So there's more to that. There's not just a bad marriage. So they got to talking and Mom didn't get like the whole story out of her, but she was moved there. We're going to assume by like maybe law enforcement or something. Uh-huh. So she had these 3 kids, right? And then she had this baby. Well, she tells Mom, she's like, yeah, I read palms. And Mom's like, oh, okay, whatever. So she read Mom's palm and Mom's like, that's weird as shit. Like she did tell me some weird stuff. So she said, hey, we'll have her down at the trailer and she can read yours and Jessica's. Well, I'm like, I wasn't married, but I was in a family that my father-in-law was a preacher, so you have to keep it like real under, like you don't talk about that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh God. So anyways, we go and she reads my palm And I don't remember much, but I do remember her saying that you're going to marry a guy with the name R, because I started laughing and was like, oh, just get your ex-father-in-law because he's a giant douchebag. And I was like, it's him. And that's the only reason why I remember that. But then she was like, she told some like really specific things. She said, so you're really interested in ghosts, but you are absolutely petrified of it, right? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, so me and your mom were going to have a seance. And I was like, she said, you could not. She said, Ashley, you would physically have a heart attack. Like, you're that scared. Because at the time I was living way out in the boonies by myself because my boyfriend worked out of town. So I was home alone a lot. And our house was haunted. And it was, when I say terrified, I was literally, me and Jaden, he was a baby, lived in the living room. Like, I kept everything in the living room so I didn't have to leave that room. And most of the time we would sleep in the living room, all the lights on and everything. I was just absolutely terrified to be there. And I was like, yeah, but I was like, my mom told her that. Like, my mom knows I'm scared. And then she said, like, you're going to have a daughter. And she was like, you're going to have a beautiful life. And I was like, of course I am, because I'm going to marry but I didn't. And it was so weird. But she told my sister specifically, she said, there's a house on the end of your house and your kids are scared of that house. And Jessica was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, well, there's a hole in their closet. And she said, is there a hole in their closet? And Jessica was like, yeah, it's the hot water heater. And she goes, your son is absolutely petrified of that hole. Somebody comes out of that hole, but they're coming from that house. Well, the house is like a shack that Jessica's ex-husband's grandparents lived in, and it was like dilapidated. It was like falling down. And she was like, it's scaring him, but it's not meaning to scare him. But like and she told us like specific stuff.
Like, you just gave me chills.
Yes. And my sister was like, how the hell would she know that? Like, it was so weird. And so she goes home and she's like, yeah, Jessica they had like fixed the hot water heater, but they never put the panel back on. And Jessica said, I never thought anything about it. And she said, I actually thought the panel was on there because she was like, no, it's a hole. There's nothing covering it. And like, she told them specific stuff, but I never did no seance or nothing with her because I was like, oh no, she was freaky. But and then as fast as she came to the trailer park, as fast as she left the trailer park. And it was super, but her and my mom like clicked it. It was so weird because I'm like,
so did y'all have to put the panel back on the hot water heater to keep the person from crawling out of it?
Yes, but my sister, my nephew had night terrors. And she was like, well, she actually said, like, that's not just night terrors. Like, it's something. But I think my sister, like, saged or whatever. But, yeah, like, she had specifics. Like, there is a house on the side that you're, like, how would you know that? Because if she would have said that to me, it would have been true because I don't have a house on the side of but she told me that I was going to leave my baby daddy, and I was like, no, I'm not. Oh, my gosh, I don't know anything. I love him.
Okay, so listen, my cousin Christy, which is my mom's sister's daughter, and they were super religious, grew up Church of God. I mean, sung in church her whole life. I mean, so religious. And so from the time she was probably 2, she would start screaming and sleep, like sitting outside of my aunt and uncle's door, and they took her. They thought she had migraines and took her to the hospital, and it was because she swears that this ghost followed her everywhere that they lived up until she was, I think, 18 or 19. And it was a soldier that would come stand at the foot of her bed, and it would scare her, and she would, like, get up and scream. And then she got used to him because he never tried to hurt her. He would just stand in front of her bed. And if it wasn't my cousin Christy, I wouldn't believe her.
Right.
And so she said the last time she seen him was after she graduated high school, and she was going across some railroad tracks and looked left or right, and he was standing there waving at her. And I was like, that's the craziest thing.
But so he must be her, like, guardian angel.
I don't know, but she swears that even now, I'm like, are you sure that ghost was there? Because I wouldn't stay the night with them because they had that ghost there. And she was like, yes, I swear. He followed me around everywhere.
But I'm like you. I think I repel that.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't have, like this experiences, like, that's kind of new for me. Like, I feel like I repel them. When we go ghost hunting, we don't find shit. And they're like, Ashley, you're like an opposite magnet. But I pray before I get there, like, I don't want to, attach to me. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be possessed or nothing because I know that stuff's real and I ain't trying to, So I think I repel them. But I think the older I'm getting, the more I'm becoming more vulnerable.
Ugh, I don't want to be vulnerable. Like, I've worried about my mom, like, dreaming about her or seeing her.
Yes, when my mom died, the first thing I said was, do not come. Barbara Jean, don't you?
I think I've dreamed about her twice, and it was stupid dreams. Like, one dream, she was pregnant in a white dress. That was before I found my siblings. And I was like, and the next dream I had, she was cussing like a storm. What the hell's wrong with you? But it's the only time I've ever dreamed of her, or ever.
Well, happy Mother's Day, y'all.
I know. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Get your mama something good for Mother's Day.
Right, and don't haunt her.
No.
Or whatever.
Don't get her a ghost tour.
No. Unless she wants one. I mean,
Yes. Even though we say it's not important for you to be around, it is.
yes.
Maybe not when you're little, but when you're old enough to buy gifts,
And take
we
me
do
to
want you
eat.
around. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's when we want you around.
Yeah,
Happy
but if
Mother's
you have
Day.
small kids, take them away. That's the ultimate gift.
Yes.
Okay.
Dads. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. And remember, we can talk shit about our moms, but no one else can.